going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. We are back again this morning on this lovely morning, lovely new year. All of that. We're going to be diving in, looking at the latest news surrounding Arsenal Football Club, as we usually do. Some interesting information being published this morning in regards to Dusan Vlahovic and that deal potentially being back on. Interesting. I'm not going to take it too seriously, because we do know we've been talking about FFP quite a lot at the time over the past couple of weeks. Trying to ship players out is extremely difficult, and as according to David Oinstein, we need to get rid of a few players before Arsenal can spend any type of money on players. So do take all of this with a pinch of salt, but it is pretty interesting, and we will dive in and look at everything there is to look at. Okay, make sure we are hitting the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we are new. Turn on notification bells on, all of that type of stuff. We appreciate you each and every time. Come on. All right, so let's just dive straight in. I will get into your comments in a little while. So let's start with Kieran Tierney, ladies and gentlemen. Man, like Kieran Tierney. It looks like Arsenal could reach out to Kieran Tierney and bring him back to the Emirates. Terminate that loan agreement that he has with Real Sociedad. They're seriously considering recalling the Scottish international right now. And I think this would be good for Arsenal, having Kieran Tierney in our squad. We are lacking in terms of squad depth, in my opinion. I think most will agree with that. We are lacking in squad depth. And I think Kieran Tierney is definitely a type of left back we need in the middle of the park, right? Sure, you guys will agree with me, right? I don't know what's going on with my computer, but it seems to be moving all weird right now. Wow, like anyway, so Kieran Tierney potentially could be returning to Arsenal early from his loan spell in the Liga with Real Sociedad. Now, when I read this, I had a feeling that there was a plan for Tierney to return to Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta maybe loaned him to Real Sociedad in Spain to understand Spanish football a bit better. So when he came back, I mean, that would love to be, you would love for that to be the case, but you know, a lot of us had the feeling that Kieran Tierney was being pushed out. But just maybe he went out to Spain to understand Spanish football so he could come back and fit into what Mikel Arteta is doing. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is implementing a lot of Spanish-type football into his system. We see that with the way he plays, especially with the way he likes to overload those channels. So yeah, it could be something that Mikel Arteta had in mind. It could be a strategy from Arsenal, a plan from Arsenal. Who knows? But Kieran Tierney could be returning. I think this would be good for us, because we need squad depth. Zinchenko defensively isn't the answer. And he just hasn't been the same player this season, in my opinion. I think bringing Kieran Tierney back just gives us so much more, moving forward. And then we don't have to see Kivior playing at left wing back either. You know, he has been a shambles. I don't even know how Mikel Arteta even thought of putting Kivior there based on his left foot. Is that all it was? Based on his left foot. That's crazy. Making those type of risks. You'll take those type of risks. A player that is, you know, more or less kind of like a traditional type centre back, if you like, and you're just going to deploy him as a left wing back. Crazy. Inverting left back. Imagine that. Crazy. There's more talk, obviously, of Arsenal being linked with strikers. Dominic Solanke being one of the main topics of discussion on Twitter at the moment. Fabrizio Romano has spoken about Dominic Solanke, and there is no update, thank God, because I know not anyone really wants Dominic Solanke. I understand it, and I told you guys the reason as to why before, but come on, let's be real now. Dominic Solanke is having a fantastic season at Bournemouth, but that's his level at Bournemouth. Maybe he can go to a Tottenham, with all due respect, actually. He can go to a Tottenham, he can go maybe to West Ham, he can take that level or go up to that level. But Arsenal, I think that's a bit of a mad one. Fabrizio Romano does say he has no update on the future so far. It's still quiet. He's doing great, so it could be one to watch. But at the moment, I don't have any concrete updates to speak of. Personally, I really like Solanke, but I also think Arsenal need a top player. Exactly. So he's not trying to disrespect my man, but he's trying to say, listen, we need a top player. Dominic Solanke isn't the answer, bro. Well, come on. We don't need Fabrizio Romano to tell us that. You understand? But should they invest in a striker? That's not going to be easy in January. So Fabrizio Romano, confirmed that it's not going to be easy. We do know it's not going to be easy, man, because David, all these dons have been, keeping us up to date, and I've been keeping you guys up to date as well, kind of giving you the realness of what's going on. I still don't believe in this FFP narrative that's being pushed. I still think it's more or less a results-driven motive right now from Arsenal in terms of like the owners, and they want results. They don't want to keep dishing out money, committing to more money, and you're not going to deliver. You're going to tell me I'll give you another 100 million in January and you finish 4th. Okay, give me the Premier League at least, and then we can start giving out these handouts when needed. We can start, what I mean? That's how it's got to be. Sometimes you've got to be ruthless in business. That's just how business is. You can't just keep dishing out money left, right, and centre. And since I've given you 700 million, you're telling me you haven't given me one trophy. Bloody hell. Like, winning an FA Cup doesn't warrant a 700 million war chest, does it? And not winning anything off the back of that 700 million war chest. So on that basis, you have to get me results before I can say, all right, Mr. Mikel Arteta, I'll sign my checkbook and buy you a striker. So like when you're looking at it from that perspective, a business perspective, I'm thinking that Arsenal ain't going to get nothing done. And it's not, again, FFP. It's based on results. It's a results-driven business, man. We can't keep dishing out money. We don't want to end up like Manchester United. How much money has Manchester United ended up spending? And they put themselves in a worse position. We've got Everton in the same situation. How much money has Everton spent? Everton has spent so much money. Everton are like top four biggest spenders over the past like 7-8 years. People won't even think it. You look at their team, you think, right, they're the top 4 spenders. Top 4, top 5 spenders over the past like 6 to 10 years, bro. Everton have done a madness, but and that's why they're in their predicament right now. They're in their predicament right now. They can't get out of that. Masuri's finished. He's gonna have to sell Everton. So yeah, bro. Like, as a business, as an owner, you have to be smart, and I believe this is one reason why I've always kind of backstand Kroenke and Josh Kroenke. I believe that these guys are really smart dons. These are really smart dons when it comes to business. You understand? So let's see what happens anyway, man. Will Arsenal get themselves, any player? Would Arsenal put any type of money down for any player in January? It remains to be seen. I think it's being told to Mikel Arteta right now that he needs to sell players, free up some sort of space, some financial availability, so we can then look at doing something. You know what I mean? That's why there was an investigation into Ivan Toney still. And obviously that investigation is still ongoing. It's not over, is it? It's not over. So the Times Sport, they're basically saying that Mikel Arteta wants a fullback, a holding midfielder, and a forward, but is hampered by financial constraints and the mid-season market being notoriously difficult for finding top players, especially as he has tended to shop within the Premier League. So, look, nothing serious there. Nothing serious there to make us believe that anything is going to happen in January. They're telling us what Arsenal are in need of. They're telling us what we already know. We know that Arsenal need fullbacks. We know Arsenal need another centre midfielder. I wouldn't even say a holding midfielder unless Thomas Partey is exiled, unless he leaves. Then we can look at another number 6. We still got Jorginho, bearing in mind. What happened to Jorginho? Is like, where is he? Where is Jorginho? I ain't heard about injury. I ain't heard about nothing. I'm not even too sure I'll see him on a bench, bro. Where is Jorginho? I don't get it. So I think we need another creative player in the middle of the park. But anyway, we also are looking at or in need of a forward. We already know this. This is all what they're telling us here. The question is Arsenal going to get something done? Are they going to make something happen? That's the ultimate question. Arsenal have been scouting for a top forward, but here we go again. Because of the lack of available options and the club's finances. Oh my God, they're proper running like Arsenal are some broke club. Who have we signed? What you're telling me, Declan Rice? That money for Declan Rice has really killed this club. Club's finances. 1 minute is FFP. Now we'll be in some club's finances. What is it? What actually is it? You know, a signing seems more likely to happen in the summer, they're telling us. So they're basically saying, let's guys, get ready. Arsenal ain't signing anyone in January. You're going to deal with the squad that you've got now. There might be a last-minute loan for some random backup don that's not even going to improve. I mean, you're just going to bring him in because you're desperate. And yeah, wish you all the best of luck for the rest of the season. That's how it's kind of looking right now. That is how it is looking right now. And again, this is nothing to do with FFP. It's not even to do with club finances. Well, it is to do with club finances, but not in a way they're making it look like, as if Arsenal was some broke-ass club that can't actually afford to go into the January market right now. Oh, because they spent 240 million in the summer and they can't get something else done over the line in the January window with money, cash money. Of course, Arsenal can. Are you mad? We don't want to. Do we have to get Darth Vader on there and sit down and start doing accountancy, bro? I'm a fan, bro. I don't want to do it, but the numbers are there. The numbers speak for themselves. Maybe we might have to, Darth, we might have to do a stream where we get all Arsenal's finances and put them on the table for everyone to see, because the media are making it out. The media are making out that Arsenal are broke and we're struggling right now. The true fact of the matter is Mikel Arteta needs to deliver on results. Unfortunately for us, we have signed some deadwood players. This is the reason why certain YouTubers and content creators rant about players that we have in the team throughout this process that we've brought to the team that weren't necessary. We weren't necessary. What we brought those players to the club out of incompetence, out of desperation, out of inexperience. You understand? That's what we done. We didn't need most of the players that Mikel Arteta has brought to the club. We didn't need them. We weren't a team. All right, cool. We had players at the club that we needed to get rid of. We needed to fill holes. I understand all of that. We wasn't a club that were, battling relegation. We wasn't a club that were just trying to, battle mid-table. And that's where the standards are dropped. That's where the standards were lowered. And they made us believe that we had to take 3-4 years to make this happen. And still, we're not even there yet. We're not even there yet. Bottled one title race, and now it looks like we're on the verge of capitulation. Now, I hope that's not the case. Cross my fingers, and let's make sure that doesn't happen. But listen, we've wasted a lot of time. We've wasted a lot of time, and now it's put us in this position where the owners are like, bro, are you mad? Hey, come here, Mr. Arteta. I don't know who the fuck you've been dealing with over there. Edu, Richard Garlick, Vinay. Vinay, you're going anyway, bro. You're gone. See you later, bro. You're gone. Yeah, we're going to get a real guy to come in and be CEO, yeah? But Mikel, them way there. Don't come to me with your hand out. I need to see results, bro. And that's what it is. Nothing to do with FFP, nothing to do with Arsenal being broke. This is Mikel Arteta, please, I need results, bro. And that's how it works in any environment, man. You can't, when you're, come on, man. Whether it's the council, whether it's government, we need results. We need to see the improvements. We need to see the blueprint. We need to see it all come together. You told me 4-year phase or 4-year process, 5-year development plan, according to Charles Watts. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there, mate. So results now, man. Results. Of course, we need to see how this season goes so we can also determine how our summer transfers are going to be as well. Because if we can't get results this season, say winning the league or Champions League or actually getting to the final of the Champions League or those type of things there. But I mean, the league title was so important, even to go again next summer and splash that money, because remember the commitments that we already have for the players that we've already signed. That makes it extremely difficult for Stan Kroenke, even at this moment in time, to say, actually, yeah, we can commit to another 100 million for this Don. Come on, man. We might not turn over the amount of money we need. We might not accumulate the amount of money we've actually forecasted for the next 6 months due to results. Remember, this is a results-driven business. Based on positioning, based on where you are in the Champions League, how you qualify, how you finish, where you are, that will then determine the different type of figures that you can play with going into the new season. So those numbers have to be worked out still at this moment in time. We've got the projected, but let's see if we can achieve it. you know, and that's where the results have to now come to fruition. So let's see, man. Let's see what Mikel Arteta can do anyway. Make sure we are hitting the like button, ladies and gentlemen. You know, giving you a bit of a scoop of how a businessman would actually think looking at this, because this is a business, bro. I know we see it as a football club. We want the best for our club, and we want to see our club win, and we want to see our club splash money and bring in new players and increase the wage bill and all of that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a business. These guys have to make logical and smart decisions at the end of the day. So let's see what happens, man. Where are we? So Edu out there scouting, looking at players, trying to figure out how much money he will have, if there is any money. Ivan Toney apparently has made it clear to his agency, the new agency that he signed up to, I believe, recently, CAA Stella, that he wants to leave Brentford in January. Toney has shown a preference for joining Arsenal, as we do know. And I think the only way Arsenal can get this done is by trying to get Toney on loan. But is there any chance of getting Toney on loan? Because we do have David Raya already here at the club. I don't think it makes any sense for us, you know. Big up Naruto, My G, Sergio in the building, Tope, big you guys up, man. I always forget to run through the comments. I just sit there waffling along. I do look at your comments, obviously, as I waffle along, but big up my guy Footy Chats in the building. Come on now, but love and respect to you, man. Big up Rylan, I see you, broski. I'll be surprised if we record Tierney. He shouldn't have been loaned out in the first place, especially after Timber got injured. Does that mean Tommy or Cedric is going to be sold? Well, it's interesting, actually. We're going to talk about a few players that could potentially leave in exchange for the next player that we're going to be discussing. Make sure we hit the like button before we get there. But yeah, I mean, some players are going to have to leave in order for Arteta to make something happen. That's just going to have to be the case if he wants something done in January, based on my understanding anyway. Tierney is solid. It is better to play Sosa than Kivior. He couldn't do any worse at left back than Kivior. Exactly. This is so logical. Big up my guy Tope. This is why you have to question Mikel Arteta, you know. You have to question him. Like even playing Ryle Waters he's a fullback. He's a fullback. He understands the fullback role. It doesn't matter if you play him on the left or the right. You might find it a little bit difficult to adapt at first, but come on, once he grows into the game, he's going to give you more than a Kivior. Kivior's getting opened up left, right, and center. So, like, it doesn't make any sense that you've got these young fullbacks that are traditional fullbacks that have been playing as fullbacks throughout their whole youth career, but you're playing Kivior, who more or less is a youth player. Let's be honest now. Kivior ain't no experienced senior player. Kivior is a fucking youth player. Yeah, he's a young Don who hasn't even made it nowhere near the top flight yet. What, man thinks he's joined Arsenal, he's made it at top flight football. You ain't made it nowhere. You're shit, blood. So again, question the manager. Question this Don, man. Playing Kivior at left back when you've got flipping Lino Sosa sitting there. Come on, it doesn't make any sense to me. Any sense. You can't fool me and act like Kivior some sort of senior or, you know, superior player to Lino Sosa. No bloody way. He's a 21, 22-year-old Don who come from Spezia. Polish, but he doesn't even speak the English language fully yet. Come on, man. Let's get out of it. These decisions that are being made, an absolute joke. Just get Mbappe for fun. Yeah, we're talking crazy amounts of money, man. We can't even afford his wage packet. His wage package is crazy. You know, you wouldn't actually even get in that. You know, I don't think Arsenal would even be stupid enough to entertain that type of wage package. You know, you're talking like 600-700 grand a week. Unless Arsenal become a Real Madrid, you wouldn't entertain that. You can't entertain that. So unfortunately, for any Arsenal fan that thinks we'll have Mbappe, we need to become Real Madrid. We need to have Real Madrid money and all that type of money before Mbappe ever comes to Arsenal Football Club. It's not sustainable to have Mbappe at Arsenal Club. Not based on how our project works. Not based on how our business works. You've got to understand the business before you can start saying, oh, you know, you end up bankrupting the business, bro. Imagine it's like you'll sign Mbappe, you'll bankrupt your business. Do you mean? Mbappe wants 300 million a year. Arsenal only turn over 700 million a year. How the fuck are we going to afford Mbappe? Our wage budget is less than Mbappe a year. It's crazy, blood. It's crazy. It's crazy. Mbappe can walk in and bankrupt a club. Crazy. We got my guy Static. He says no to Vlahovic. Joe says, I assumed we were restricted by FFP considering the Raya deal. It's kind of funny though, as we technically haven't signed Raya yet. Yeah, it's crazy. Again, I think it's the commitment of the money. I think it's in the situation we find ourselves in now where we wanted to loan a player because that's the only thing we can do based on the amount of money we've spent. I don't think that's got to do with FFP. It's got to do with the fact that, listen, we can't keep spending money and not be getting results. We need results. Results are so important. Them way there, results are so important. So it kind of in the summer, it would have been the same. It would have been the same. It would have been the same process that we are in now. Oh, damn, we need this extra player, but we've made a couple incompetent decisions, and therefore we can't really commit to another 30 million right now. So what we're going to have to do is somehow wiggle around this. How can we wiggle around this? Please, Brentford, can you loan us him? Loan us him, and we'll promise you next season will come with this amount of money to pay off. So they're begging. That's what they were doing in the summer, bro. Don't get it twisted. That's the reason why it happened. This FFP is just the narrative they're trying to carry because they're trying to cover up their incompetence. Do you understand? Or it's the media trying to push that narrative because they don't actually know what's going on. So they're trying to put 2 and 2 together. And they're thinking, oh, well, it must be the FFP. It must be. It must be. So they're like, all right, fuck it, we'll push that then. Or maybe a representative at Arsenal is given that information to push. But ultimately, be logical as a flipping person that would run a business. Are you going to keep shelling out all this money and you can't deliver on results? We've increased the financial operation at Arsenal Football Club by 50-60%. That is a significant increase. I can't just keep dropping money on the table. Sports is about winning the title. This is not about top 4. This is what people need to get out of their fucking fixed goals. It's about winning trophies, bro. If you can't win trophies, how do I keep giving you money? How do I keep giving you money? It doesn't make any sense. Make sense of it. Come on, bro. You need to win now. It's 4 years. You need to win. The pressure is on. Well done for last season. We nearly got there. We nearly overachieved by winning the title. But now you've shown us that you can do it. I've given you another 240 fucking million. And you're telling me you need more money. Please, ladies and gentlemen, wake up. Wake up, man. I have to keep waking people up every single day. Flipping no, got nothing to do with FFP, man. Arsenal alleviated any pressure with FFP by doing all the things they've done over the past couple of years, whether it was cutbacks, redundancies. Oh, come on, man. They got rid of bare players, terminated contracts. They've done a number of things to balance those books, man. If one thing you have to say, and one thing I know is a fact as well. We know Stan Kroenke and Josh Kroenke are not stupid, right? So if FFP was really serious and Arsenal knew that FFP was on their neck, do you really think they would have actually made a deal with West Ham to pay them 100 million over the course of 2 years? They wouldn't have done it. Now, I know someone come out the other day and said Football Manager says it's over the course of 4 years, but the actual media story and what we've been told in real time, not by the game, in real time, is that Arsenal agreed to pay that in 24 months. Now, if that is the truth, that doesn't make any sense to do that with that large amount of money without guaranteeing results, without guaranteed results, shall I say, and if we had FFP on our necks. That doesn't make any sense. Why would we commit to that? If FFP are on our necks and we can't even guarantee that we're going to win the league bro, you're taking mad losses. Stan Kroenke ain't in it for losses. He's a billionaire for a reason, bro. You don't take losses, blood. These man silly. These man know what's going on. Come on, man. Don't tell me these man are all broke. Are you man all broke, bro? Are you man all broke? No, I'm joking. Listen, yeah. Look, come on, man. Just make sense of it. Just make sense of it, my guys, man. Let me run through some more of these comments before we get into Dusan, man. Ivan Toney is definitely not going to be happening for Arsenal if we can't agree to get him on loan. And we can't do the loan deal because we've already done a loan deal with David Raya. And that was, again, due to being desperate and not being able to have enough money to get that deal done. Do you know what I mean? They used FFP just as the narrative to push to make it look like, oh, that's the reason why. Whatever, man. Hussein is flirting with Chelsea. Yeah, he's going to go to Chelsea, man. Joe says, yeah, as a business strategy, better to let your rivals know what you don't have any money to spend. I mean, there's so many different ways Arsenal can be playing this. Obviously, I'm just giving you one way. Arsenal can be playing it multiple different ways. I don't think, you know, I don't think you see we see that type of strategy there, it makes sense and it's logical, but I don't think selling clubs give a shit. If I'm a selling club and you're coming to me telling me you're broke and I don't give a shit. So that strategy is flawed. Whoever's coming up with that type of strategy, you're flawed. You are going to walk into a business deal and walk out with nothing. You know, that's what's going to happen, bro. Like all that stuff where you want, oh, I want the opposition to think that I have no money. So when I approach them, they're more likely to lower their asking price. No, that's not how it works, bro. These men are going to demand what they want. Brentford only done what they've done because Brentford's a pushover. Remember who Brentford are. Brentford do not turn over no money. I told you this the other day, guys. The reason I know if Arsenal really want Ivan Toney, they could get Ivan Toney done, 50, 60 million pounds. Obviously, they can get the loan done like they've done with David Raya. That could work with Ivan Toney right now. Because Brentford are a pushover. And that's no disrespect to Brentford or their fan base or anything like that. But I'm talking about the amount of money that Brentford are generating, the type of players they've got that are worth anything. They can't afford to say no to 50 million deal for Ivan Toney. They would never say no to that. They might negotiate and try and get something better that's kind of working more in their favor. That works more. They'll get a deal that works more in their favor. But other than that, I don't think they're going to say no to 50 million for Ivan Toney. And again, they'll probably even give you Ivan Toney on loan and agree to take most of that money at the end of next season. You know, that's the type of team that they are right now. But you know, when they grow, when they put themselves in a position like Brighton have, you know, Brighton are different. Brighton put themselves in a position where they found great players, fantastic players that were able to shift for big money. Once they've done 1, 2, 3 players over 50 million, Ben White, Cucurella, once they got those dons out the door, bro, their prices could skyrocket. You man can't tell us nothing. Come, you want Moses Caicedo, you want Matoma, you want these dons, okay, talk to me. 100 million. No one can say no. No one can say no. Now you've got all that power. Put themselves in a great position. Brentford ain't got that. Brentford will never have that. Not anytime soon anyway. Not even Ivan Toney money would give them that. So let's be real now. Big up Baz, man. He says, morning wax, fingers crossed we can make the Toney deal happen, sorry. Yeah, man, we need a striker. We were looking at numbers yesterday on the stream that we done late yesterday, about 7 o'clock we done it. And you know, Odegaard's creating chances. He has been creating chances. 6 scoring chances per game, or 6 shooting chances per game he creates in this season. So I mean, that's showing that Odegaard is trying to get involved, but we don't have a rule number 9. Jesus can't get in positions to score goals. Eddie Nketiah just flaps all over the place. He's just like a little dolly running around on the pitch. He's just hopeless. So yeah, man, we need a rule number 9. Ivan Toney will definitely give us something totally different, but a player that I want, a player that I have been, you know, make sure I use the right words here, but you know, a player that I've strongly admired for quite some time, someone that I want to see at Arsenal Football Club, and I've always wanted to see him at Arsenal Football Club ever since I saw him play for Fiorentina. And you guys know who I'm talking about, man, like Dusan Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic for me is a game-changing signing. Game-changing. Now, let's before anyone dives into the comments and says, "Oh, but he's been crap at Juventus." Oh man, please don't kill me. Look, it hasn't been the greatest of times at Juventus for Dusan Vlahovic, but I think, oh boy, we're here again. Classic Goon, I'll big you up, man. G. He knows, man. We've been here multiple times before with Dusan Vlahovic. I think we even touched on this back in the summer again as well. So, obviously, like I said at the top of the stream, let's take this with a pinch of salt. It is interesting and it's good to talk about, and there's a lot being said about it right now on Twitter and by the media in general. So, let's touch on it. Let's see what it's saying. Let's see if there's anything real or genuine here. Vlahovic overall quality is very high. Listen, I'm telling you now, Vlahovic is a baller, and the type of player he is. If he plays with Saka and Marseille and Odegaard and those type of players, oh, we're going to see some beautiful football on display because he is really good. But he's so direct. He's not like a Jesus. He's got the ability of a Jesus. You know, those runs, dropping deep, ball control, running with the ball. He's got all of that. Even he's got all the skills, the flicks, and the like. Come on, he can do all of that. I don't understand. People don't know Dusan, right? But he's just direct because he's a natural number 9. He's a natural number 9 that's always trying to get on goal. Now, we have to bear in mind that I honestly don't think Juventus' team is that great. I think Juventus have got a dead team. And I think the system they're playing, the way they play football is dead. It's not to the best of Dusan's ability, right? And I think he also helps a lot with their link up and their build up over there with Juventus. So that's also taken away from his game. That could be questionable for us as well. So, I mean, if he's doing the same for us, it could, again, be the same outcome, potentially. But ultimately, I think we've got better players, especially wide players with a bit more flair, players that have a bit more, a bit more flair, probably be the right word to use. But let's see if it's a deal that we can get done. Juventus have been in a financial mess for quite some time. They were even in a financial mess when they signed Dusan Vlahovic, but they managed to make it happen. They wanted to get it over the line, and they did get it over the line. And at that point, apparently, according to the media, the people that don't really know what's going on, he rejected Arsenal. He rejected you guys. Now, based on the fact that he rejected us, how many people don't like him? Oh, no, forget Dusan. Forget Dusan. They rather just forget the quality of the player and focus on what the media planted in their heads. They planted it, and now it's just there growing. It's just stuck there, and they're like, oh, Dusan Vlahovic. The moment they hear it, it's like, oh, no, he rejected us. He rejected us. Fucking hell, people are crazy, blood. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the whole rejection because there is context to it. But look, big up Dusan. He's a fantastic player, someone that I would love to see. Hold on one second. No, me right now. I would love to see him at Arsenal Football Club. It says here, according to Gary Cotterill, I don't know who this don is. Sky Sports News, though, he says, I don't think Brentford sell Toney in January. Another player we know Arteta is a fan of is Dusan Vlahovic. Now, Juventus want 50 million for Dusan. That's crazy. Ben White money for Dusan Vlahovic. Who's saying no? Who's saying no? We're willing to put 50 million down on the table for a player like Ben White, but you wouldn't risk 50 million for, or you wouldn't risk, it's not even a risk. You wouldn't put 50 million down on the table for Dusan Vlahovic. Is that what you're telling me? Who is Dusan? I didn't call him Dusan. I call him Dusan. Don't worry about my pronunciations, bro. Don't worry about my pronunciations. Don't come in here and start questioning my pronunciations, man. Yeah? Just get on here, hit the like button. Dusan. Is that better for you, my friend? Dusan. That better for you? Dusan Vlahovic. Is that better for you, my friend? Fucking hell, man. Just come and enjoy the stream, hit the like button, get your comments in. Don't try and tell the moderator how to flipping pronounce his words like that, especially when you're some new don. You're a new don, yeah? You're a new don. Let the mods tell me how to pronounce my words. They're mods for a reason, yeah? Big up, Bazzi says, so the news states that the Premier League is blocking a loan deal for Toney and Brentford want 100 million. Damn, we ain't going to get him. Yeah, they're going to block the loan move because we've already made this deal with Raya happen. He's... I read up on it the other day. You can't actually loan. Well, you can, but you can't register both players in your. I forgot. I think for the Premier League it's different to the Championship, because I read two different things. I think in the Premier League you can't actually loan two players from the same squad, from the same team. So if you're a Premier League club, you can't loan two players from the same team, from the same club. If you're a Championship team, it's different. You can actually loan two players from the same club. I'm pretty sure that is, but yeah, it's crazy. So on that basis, anyway, I don't think we're going to be getting Ivan Toney. So now we could get Dusan Vlahovic on loan. Dusan. Am I getting it right? Dusan. We're going to get Vlahovic. Potentially could get Vlahovic on that, but that just all depends off if Arsenal can then agree, because we could do this. What we're trying to do with Ivan Toney, what the plan is for Ivan Toney, which Arsenal seem like they would be willing to do, which is basically a loan and obviously buying the player at the end of the season. That's what they would seem to be willing to do for this Ivan Toney situation. However, if we can sit down with Juventus and negotiate with them and maybe offer that solution to them, or offer that same proposal to them, then maybe they could say yeah. Maybe they will say yeah, and we give them the 15 million that they're asking for. But it says that they want 50 million, but that's too steep for Arsenal, obviously, in January. Juventus have financial problems, as they've always had, even when they signed Dusan Vlahovic. They maybe put themselves more in a mess since then. They would listen to a cash plus player offer, ladies and gentlemen. So that is very, very interesting. Juventus would or could be open to a player plus cash. So how would that work? Would Arsenal be able to find some sort of money? Enough money to be able to put that on the table for Juventus to say, okay, we'll take that, and we'll take Cedric Suarez, perhaps? Do you reckon we could flog them with Cedric Suarez? And this is another thing I was going to actually say earlier. Big up Naruto. He's a free kick master. We don't even have a free kick specialist at Arsenal at the moment, We don't have a free kick specialist at Arsenal at the moment. So, yeah, Dusan comes in. Dusan. Vlahovic comes in, and he instantly becomes our free kick taker. Instantly. Because he's a free kick specialist. He bangs goals from these free kicks. Make sure we are hitting the like button, ladies and gentlemen. As the main mod stack says, hit that like button. We've only got 35 likes on the video. Over 100 people in here. We need more likes, ladies and gentlemen. Wagwan General just finished hitting the gym. Big up Grant in the building. Much appreciate you. Jorginho plus cash. Oh, yes, you've hit the nail on the head. You get to go on the screen for that. You hit the nail on the head, my guy. Jorginho plus cash. Now, Jorginho, in fact, has been linked with a number of teams. I think a few teams in Turkey are interested. But Jorginho would be the perfect one. Perfect, because he's obviously Italian, Brazilian Italian, just like Edu. And yeah, I think that would be perfect. We'll take that his wages, give his wages to Dusan, and we'll run with that. Them way there. So I think that would be a definite great one to run with. Right now, we need anyone who can put the ball in the net. He could do a job. He's a number 9, and that's what we need. Says Youth. Big up Youth in the building. We appreciate you, man. Yeah, no, you're right, man. We need a real number 9. If we want to continue and win this league this season, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get ourselves a number 9. He looks way older than 22. Well, can you believe he's actually younger than Eddie Nketiah? Come on, man. Would you rather have Dusan or Eddie Nketiah? Them way there. Come on. Get rid of Jorginho. Who's his replacement? Well, Arsenal want to look at another holding midfielder. They want to look at another holding midfielder. So, at the moment, I don't even know where Jorginho is. Where is he? Where is Jorginho? I haven't seen Jorginho in ages. Haven't seen him get any minutes. I haven't even heard about an injury. Where is he? I don't know, man. Big up FJT. I see you, man. The Legends of Renegade. I see you, man. Jorginho, Cedric, and Elneny, plus 15 million. Or give them all 3 of them and just say, yeah, just take all 3, man. Oh, man. Cedric. I'm pretty sure they'll take Cedric. I'm pretty sure who was it? Atletico Madrid were linked with Cedric a little while ago. I'm sure they were. So if they're interested, maybe we could flog him to Juventus. Who knows? Serbians are built for the EPL. Absolutely, man. Look, Dusan, you know what I'm going to do for you guys? Yeah. I'm going to do it. We're doing player reaction. Not right now, obviously. But we're doing a player reaction of Dusan's goals and highlights. I'm going to do that for you. Maybe do it this evening, release it tomorrow. Because I think that needs to be seen. We need to react to that. and you'll see the goals and you see the quality of the player, man. What he offers, man. What he offers. It's not just because obviously we talk about scoring goals, and we know Dusan Vlahovic, if he's playing as a straight nine without really having to drop deep and do all the link up, etc. We know he can get 20 plus every single season. Coming to the Premier League as well with the competition of a Haaland, with the competition of other strikers in the Premier League, I think that would give Vlahovic fire to want to step up. He's not going to be he's not going to be a Rasmus Højlund. I tell you that he's not going to be a Rasmus Højlund. He will come in and be phenomenal. He's so versatile, man. So versatile. He probably can get up and win headers. So all those little inverted crosses that Mikel Arteta trying to put into the box, all those cutbacks and crosses into the box, there was diagonal crosses, any cross, any type of cross. You've got Vlahovic getting up and winning those headers, bro. His leap off the ground is strong. Bro, he's good, man. He's a good player, bro. Everything. He's got everything. Wax Serbians and Croatians are built for our league. I'm telling you, let's get him in, man. Let's get him in. You prefer Vlahovic more than Toney? At best, we would get in January no-name striker. I do prefer Vlahovic over Toney. Obviously, one of the main reasons for that is Vlahovic is 22 and Ivan Toney's at 28. It's a big difference there. By the time Vlahovic is that age, can you imagine what type of smoke he's going to be on? I do see Vlahovic one day playing for Real Madrid, so it could be next season. You never know, man. I do see him playing for Real Madrid one day, though. From 2021, I have been talking about Dusan for how long, Wax? The wait is near. Come on, you Gunners. Absolutely. Toney is 27. Oh, he's 27. 27, 28, flipping out. was he 27.5? He's there. He's almost there. He's going to be 28 soon. He turns 28 in March. You might as well say he's 28 then. He's 28. He's 28 now. No, I'm playing. But yeah, so I'm taking Vlahovic anyway. And another, what I think, a perfect comparison. Is that Tone? Is it Toon? I'm not too sure if I pronounce your name, but I'll call you V. V. V said that he can do RVP things. You know who Vlahovic actually reminds me of? He reminds me of Rooney. He reminds me of Rooney. The way Rooney plays the game, that's Dusan. I swear that's the perfect player. And you know what Rooney was like. When Rooney was on form and Rooney was playing at his peak and he was at his best. You know what type of player Rooney was like. Now, hopefully, he doesn't end up like Rooney. Rooney's had a bad managerial career, bro. He just got sacked about 2 days ago. Oh, can you imagine it? Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, and Wayne Rooney, the most spoken about English players of our generation, failed as managers. Fouled. Mikel Arteta, better manager than all three of them. You have to be real. Frank Lampard. But as players, they were phenomenal, and they were three of the best players to ever come out of England and the world, in my opinion. And if you Wayne Rooney, come on, man, a 22-year-old Wayne Rooney. Are you telling me, guys? Are you telling me you wouldn't sign a 22-year-old Wayne Rooney right now for your team? Are you telling me? All right, man. I've got about 4 more minutes anyway before I wrap this up. I need to do some important things. Yeah. So let's run through some more of these comments. Big up every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching us today. Make sure we are hitting the like button. Don't go anywhere because we're still going to run through comments. So if you want me to answer any questions or anything that you do have, then get into the comment section right now. We've got some exclusive content coming. We've got some special guests, really special guests joining us on Friday. I'm talking A-list stream. We're doing an A-list stream on Friday, 5 p.m. Guys, don't want to miss out on that. I've got 2 special guests joining me, and it's going to be a very, very interesting stream. I'm telling you now, you guys don't want to miss that. Yeah. So much new content coming, so much more happening on the channel. So you need to subscribe. Marquinhos to return as well. Yeah, we spoke about that late last evening. Late afternoon last night. Yeah, returning. Eddie's got blood in his hands. Don't think Marquinhos is going to be the player that we initially thought. We only initially made that, thought because we only I can't even get my words out, bro. My brain's just moving all over the place. He just doesn't look like a Brazilian, does he? Marquinhos he looked good in 1 or 2 games for us, but he's just not going to be the player we initially thought he was because of the Brazilian heritage, of course. But it's not that. It's not that. He's just he's a League 2 player, League 1 player. He's going to go and find himself down there sooner or later. We've been there before, man. We've seen Dons come that we thought were going to be this, that, the other. Even the Denilson that we had. Remember, we had Denilson, centre midfielder. Remember, and he wasn't good enough. We actually gave him chances as well. Big up Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger actually gave that Denilson chances. Played him in the Champions League a number of times. He gave him chances, bro. But he couldn't cut it in the Premier League. He couldn't cut it in general. So he ended up having to go back to Brazil. And that's going to be the same case with Marquinhos, man. It's inevitable, isn't it? We said this when we signed Marquinhos. And this is the reason why some of us come up with the idea of maybe, we started thinking of the conspiracy. The conspiracy, right? The brown envelopes and stuff like that. Yeah. Man come out online defending this decision. There's people online, delusional people online. Actually, he did score a banger against Everton as well. I do remember that. Man were coming out online defending that decision of signing Marquinhos. They said, but we've done it because we're trying to build a good relationship with Sao Paulo, who generates so many good players. I mean, come on. The last big name that Sao Paulo generated was fucking Kaká. And we're talking about three decades ago. They've probably had 1 or 2 decent players. I think they've sold a few players to like European clubs over the past couple of years. But those players are nobody. Those players have turned out to be nobody. Where are they? So people are defending the decision of Edu. They defend that decision. We're trying to build good relations with Sao Paulo, who What? We're trying to just give away money to Sao Paulo. We're trying to make that community more richer over there because we're trying to build good relations just in case in the future someone pops up. But they pop up with a good player. It's bullshit. It's so dumb because let's say we've done that. Let's just say that what they've said there is right. And they've got this fantastic Don. Obviously, what they will do, they'll probably come to Arsenal first. So we paid them 3 million for Marquinhos, who flopped for us, but we're not going to question. We're not going to mention that. So they can come to us and say, actually, we've got this player. He's fantastic. I'll come to you first option because you gave us that 3 million a couple of years ago. And I think you should look at him. How much do you want for him? We'll start at 25 million. I think we'll take 25 million for him. Okay, cool. That happens. Arsenal get first option or first, and we start looking. Arsenal take long to get the deal done. Going back and forth. 1 bid rejected, 2 bid rejected. I'm joking. That probably wouldn't get to that stage. Arsenal will look at the deal, 25 million. Then others hear about the deal. They hear about the player. They scout the player. They've already got a whole flipping book about the player in front of them. All the data's there. All of the information they need's there. And next thing you know, he goes and joins Real Madrid for 45 million. Yeah, so all of this stuff about, we're trying to give them money because we want to build good relations with them in future is absolutely nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Yeah, flipping hell. Fabio Vieira needs some game time. I think Fabio Vieira is injured at the moment. I don't think he's fit enough to play. Trust the process, Wax. I'm trusting it. I'm here, my friend. I'm trusting the process. Leonardo Trossard needs to be sold as well. A mad one. And you know what? I wouldn't even be disappointed if we sold Nuno Tavares. You obviously said Nuno Tavares, but I was talking about Trossard. See how my brain works. My brain's crazy. I keep looking at the comments and I will take anything that you've said in the... Yeah. Trossard is... regressed big time. He has got poor this season. Poor. I knew it was going to happen. My man got like 11 GA in about 20 games last season. In the second half of the season, Trossard got 11 GA in 20 games. And since then, he just, he was even benched then. But since then, he's rarely getting any minutes. Now, it's questionable. It's questionable because I've actually said in the past that Trossard doesn't really do well in 90 minutes. You start Trossard for 90 minutes and he ghosts, he disappears. He's not really effective. So maybe that could be down to the fact that Mikel Arteta's finally got his claws in him and he's buying into the Mikel Arteta ideas, and he just don't really buy into them. You know, he hasn't really bought into the Mikel Arteta ideas. You know, I think like there's a lot of players right now that are falling off. You have to question why all of these players are falling off. Trossard is actually falling off. Trossard looks crap. He looks rubbish. Trossard looked like he was on fire last season. Right now, Trossard looks terrible. Trossard is a baller, but this tactics, all 11 starters are worse. Arteta overcooks tactics with his control gameplay. Yeah, he's ruined these players, man. He's ruined them, and someone needs to come and put some life in them, boy. I think we need a new manager. That's ultimately what it's going to be. It has to be a new manager. I think the longer you keep Mikel Arteta, the more stale these players become. The players become stale. I personally would rather see Arsenal buy no players and sign a new manager over keeping Mikel Arteta and signing Victor Osimhen. I honestly would rather see that, because we're seeing our players regress. We're seeing our players underperform. We're seeing how poor our players look right now. Yeah, and this is the last thing I'm going to touch on. Big up my guy, Cho the Great in the building. Much appreciate the support, my guy. But we've seen how poor the players have been performing, and it's not good enough. The system's questionable. We know it. We don't need to go into it. We know what's questionable about the system. The attacking identity, everything, the style of play, everything that comes with what we're doing here is questionable. So I, on that basis, would rather, instead of say, oh no, we need a whole new squad, or let's sell him, he's not good enough, and go through that phase, that process again, you know, like we did with Aubameyang and all those dons, I would rather just have a new manager, let these players play with a new manager, make sure we thoroughly know what manager we're dealing with. You know, we understand everything there is to understand with the manager, the tactical side of things, everything, yeah? And we want to target a manager that has an understanding of how to keep things structured and balanced at the back and in midfield, but someone that has an attacking identity, someone that can sit down at the table with me right now and show me how you can get Martinelli to give me 25 goals this season. Because that should be a conversation. You know, when you're with a manager and you're interviewing a manager, that should be like, show me right now in front of me how you are going to get 25 goals out of Martinelli this season. Because do you understand? And a manager will have to sit there and say, all right, cool, these are the ideas. Of course, I'm going to be coming up with more ideas once I analyze the opposition that I'm going up against, and I will find more ways of getting Martinelli to this target. But ultimately, I feel if I can do this with Martinelli, Martinelli's going to become a much better player. And if he can prove it, if he can show it and demonstrate it in that interview, in that presentation, prove it. And he can prove it. This is it, bro. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm cutting out for me, man. Big up the gang. Cho, much appreciate you becoming a member again. Much appreciate the donation as well. Anyone else that wants to become a member, just like Cho, just like Footy Chats, just like Nathan Hawthorne and the rest of the gang, Darth Vader, all the real ones in the building, make sure you click on that join button. Look, it's a little $5.99 every single month. That's like buying me a cup of coffee each month. It's a minor. It's a cup of coffee each month, and you get members-only content. So go and check that out. And yeah, man, come on, help the channel grow. Help the channel grow. Anyway, just before I go, this Friday we've got a special stream taking place on this channel, 5 p.m. Not going to give no giveaway. I'm not going to give away anything too much in terms of like who we're bringing on, because it's a special one. It's a special one. I want you guys to make sure you're locked in. We're going to dive in. So much to actually get through in that stream. It's going to be very, very interesting. But make sure you're there. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, man, I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace to you. Yeah. I'm talking to you, blood. I need you to hit the like button.